really, and this is really the truth, during one of my prayers, and as I was riding down the road, and I can tell you the exact spot I was, it was like the sun was in my face, and whether it was or not, I don't know. But the epiphany was, Patti, you are making this about you. This is not about you. This is about Adam. And Adam needs his mother right now. He needs you more than he's ever needed you. The day you put him on that bus to go to kindergarten, he wasn't scared that he was going to be rejected. He doesn't worried about coming home and being rejected. He wasn't worried about going to the school and being rejected. But these children that tell us that they're gay are worried about being rejected by their parents. They're very strong to be able to do that. There's a lot more that's happened. I remember, let me just give you a story, this one really quick, but my second son is adopted, and he's a little darker skinned than some, not much, but a little bit. And in our community 26 years ago, it was lily white. I mean, you know, anybody that had any dark tan stood out. So I knew that my child was going to stand out, my little baby. And I was in the doctor's office, and we knew him well because he was our pediatrician for Adam. And I'm over in the corner just shaking and crying because just shaking. And he turns around to me, and he's, Patti, what are you fearful of? Because he could see it all in me. And then the tears start. And I said, I'm just so frightened that my community will not accept my baby. And he said words that I had no idea that 11 years later, I was going to have to use those words again. He said, Patti, how you love and treat your child is how your community will love and treat your child. You are their teacher. Remember that. You are their teacher. So that's what I had to realize. You know what? If I want my community to love my child and treat him with respect and show his respect that he deserved, then I have to do that. And that's what took a lot of strength, really. It took a lot of strength because we had to face our community every day. We had to feel those things that you know, those unsaid words. We walked around in the closet for 3 years until finally when we did do the website. And how the website came about, by the way, was in the middle of the night. I would get up and get on the internet. That was when dial-up too, probably, by the way. But I'd get on the internet, and all I could find was God hates facts. Mama didn't want to see that. And some not pretty things. And I went, you know, I know there are people out there like me. I know there are. I know there are other moms out there like me. Why can't I find them? Because I'm too fearful to go into my church because I don't want them judging me and judging my child. I need to get a hold of this before I start telling that story. So I kept putting in the back of my mind a website. And one day we went to a meeting. And it was, won't tell them how that meeting got there. It was also one of those things that how did we get there? God put it before us. This writer comes in and he says, you're here, you have a gay child? And yeah, he said, well, why are you here at this meeting? Because it was a meeting about lesbian and gays and things. And I told him, I said, well, you know, one day I want to do a website for parents because I know there are other parents out there like me. He said, well, do it. And I said, I don't know how to do that. And he said, here's my card. I went, I'll help you. And he did. And his name is Michael Albiar. He's our neighbor now, actually. But he helped us edit, because if I sound decently intelligent in those writings, it's because of Michael, not because of me. I wrote everything, and then he would edit it and say, rewrite this. I felt like I was in school again. But those are all our stories. And I still receive emails. We've answered probably 6,000 emails at least from all over the world. Seriously, some of them have come to where they've actually had to be translated, and you can tell they're translated because of the way it's done. So it's like there are gay people everywhere, actually, you know. But the moms and all of us, the moms and dads, we all have the same story. We all have the same fears. When I get those moms write me, I can go right back and cry with them. They call me a lot now. I get my phone out. I don't mind. Let's just talk. And so, you know, we're there to help people understand that your family's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. But you do have to stand up as a parent. You have to stand up for your child. You have to stand up. You have to get a hold of it. And I never, as I said, I never doubted God's love for my child. And I don't now at all. And I could sit here and talk to y'all forever, but I'm going to let Jeff speak now. So I'm going to let Jeff speak now.
Good afternoon. It is if you want to get a perspective of what's going on, just think about this. Here it is, what, 3 o'clock, and this is one meeting in Atlanta, and there's 10 other groups, and just think, this is occurring all over the country. If you ever think you're alone, which is, I think the first thing that ever comes out is when Adam told us it was 9:32 on Friday, December the 17th. Not that I can remember that well. Anyway, and you think you're the only person, having to deal with this, and you think, oh my God, we can't let this secret out and all that. And all that. Anyway, you realize that's not true at all. But anyway, you're not alone. This happens all the time. So I thought, since Patti gets the majority of the emails because she's the mom, so it's mostly moms, but occasionally a dad writes. And I thought it was very telling because this Monday a dad wrote to me. So thought that you may find that interesting and can relate to his story. He said, Jeff, he said, I came across your website as I am looking for answers. Our 20-year-old son told us Monday that he is gay. I did not know how soul-crushing 2 little words, I'm gay, could be. My emotions are still red raw at this point in time, as it is only 2 days ago that he told us. So if I ramble a little, it is because I am still trying to come to grips with his announcement. It is interesting that you mentioned the grieving process, as I feel that is exactly where I am now. I have lost my son together with all of my expectations, hopes, and dreams for his future. My disappointment is a solid lump. So I am mourning this loss as well as the loss of my best friend, as I also feel he has betrayed my trust. And this is what I will find hardest to forgive. I know he is still the same person that I loved and nurtured, and I need to change, and I am scared that I cannot. How will I deal with his future relationships when I find it so foreign and the exact opposite of what I expected for him and for our family? I have never felt so lost, alone, and lacking direction as I do now. My wife has accepted it far better than I have. She has told me that she can empathize with my feelings, but cannot relate to them as they are my feelings as a father. This has left me alone and adrift without a compass, and I feel resentment that she is coping so well. I have read your site, and it has provided some comfort, and I want to thank you and your wife for sharing your story. I have bookmarked it, and it will probably return to it fairly often to take comfort and seek advice from your words. Our Christian radio station, Hope 103.2, runs a 24-hour support line, and I may call them at some stage if I feel it is all too much. Thanks again for your site. You and Patti are very brave for putting your site out there. God bless. And my response kind of sums up where we are now. I said, in 1 more year, I will have known Adam as gay as long as I thought I knew him as straight. However, your raw emotion brings back the same feelings I had just as if it were yesterday. While I know exactly how you feel, I must tell you that I wouldn't change anything in my life, for I consider the journey I have taken with my entire family to have been a privilege. We have all grown closer because we were forced to examine every belief we ever held about almost every subject out there. You have just started that process, and it is both painful as well as rewarding. You can't go through what you are about to embark upon and still be the same person. One of your comments was especially telling, and I took the quote, so I am mourning this loss as well as the loss of my best friend, as I also feel that he has betrayed my trust, and this is what I will find hardest to forgive. You were saying that you feel betrayed because he trusted you enough to be totally honest about who he really is. He was really telling you that he wants you to remain a part of his life, but you are going to have to love him as a gay man, not as a straight man that you assumed him to be. You must remember that he can't control being gay any more than you can control being straight. But it seems that you haven't totally grasped that realization yet. The only person that is capable of changing is you, and it will be about your attitude toward gays and lesbians. So the question before you now is, are you capable of accepting your son as you now know him? Since you are coming at this from a father's perspective, I've attached a Father's Day article I wrote in 2002 that you might relate to. I also want you to go to www.leadwithlovefilm.com and watch this 35-minute film. After you've done this, write me back and let me know if it helped. And I want to end this by telling you that when I was where you are right now, I never could have envisioned my life being so wonderful as it is. You probably see this, as I did, as being one of life's cruelest curses, but I am here as a witness that although I couldn't see it at the time, it was the beginning of one of life's greatest gifts. Wishing your family the very best, Jeff. And so, what you see is what we all go through. We start this as what Patti was talking about. The church tells you it's wrong. Your society tells you wrong. Everybody tells you it's wrong. So when your child comes out, you say, he's wrong. We can solve this, but to solve it, he has to change. But you're asking your child to change the basic biology of his own being. How can I be attracted to men when I'm attracted to women? How do I start even changing that if I wanted to? So how does your child do that? You want him to change. So you realize the only person that is capable of changing is you, the parent, and your attitude of how you approach being gay or lesbian. You have to be the one to change. Because it's so easy to go, and that was our prayer all along. As Patti said, in the beginning, it's like, okay, my prayer is, God, please change my child. Because, see, it requires nothing of you. You can stay the same, and God changes the world, and now you can go back to just the way it was. But you have got to start standing up for your child, and that's the way I end my emails to the parents. It's something I came up with, because I thought about myself, and I said, I prayed that God would change the world's attitude toward my son, but God responded by saying, if you want your prayer answered, get off your knees and start standing up for your child. And that's what I realized it required. I had to change my attitude, and I had to be willing to take the same punishment as my son has to take out in the world by supporting him, saying there's nothing wrong with being gay, and if you think God said that in the Bible somewhere, bring it on. Because we can do battle right here, right now. I don't believe that, never have. Anyway, Adam, I want to hear what you have to say.